We're going to look at how Visa is working to enable cryptocurrency purchases, what the judge said at the SEC court, and XRP technical analysis. Subscribe and turn on notifications if you haven't yet. Let's dive into this. Welcome to Money Side. The Visa CEO Alfred F. Kelly Jr. has addressed cryptocurrencies and their potential to transform the payments industry. Last year, Kelly suggested that the financial services company could see digital currencies running on the Visa network on a more regular basis. This was followed by his speech during Visa's fiscal Q1 2021 earnings call in January, where Kelly stressed that the firm is uniquely positioned to help make cryptocurrencies more safe, useful, and applicable for payments. Kelly's January speech also addressed more specific details of the company's strategic vision of cryptocurrencies. In his view, people should differentiate Bitcoin from other variants of digital gold, as well as from stablecoins and fiat-backed central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. He also noted that Visa sees Bitcoin as the best cryptocurrency to use for partnerships and to provide users with a means of converting crypto into fiat currencies. Visa's foray into cryptocurrencies comes at a time when its rival MasterCard is also looking into possibilities of supporting payments in select cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is unlikely to be included in that list, however, as the firm sees the largest cryptocurrency as being too volatile to be a suitable payments tool. They're probably considering coins like Ethereum and Ripple XRP. The widespread adoption of cryptocurrencies continues. Today, Hong Kong-based Crypto.com has announced a partnership with Visa, including a principal membership in Visa's network in Australia. As a Visa principal member, Crypto.com can now issue cards directly and bring world-first products to the market. Currently, Crypto.com is shipping Crypto.com Visa cards in Asia, mainly Japan and South Korea, as well as in Africa, South America, and the Middle East. It has been tough times for XRP since the SEC filed its lawsuit against Ripple. Several exchanges and platforms have delisted XRP from their services, including Coinbase, OKCoin, and WireX. Also, Grayscale Investments terminated its XRP trust. None want to run afoul of the SEC. In Japan, it's a different story when it comes to regulatory clarity. The Japanese regulator Financial Services Agency said XRP is not a security, creating a much more favorable environment for XRP. And as an interested backer of Ripple, SBI Holdings, through its subsidiary SBI VC Trade, will be including it in its digital currency lending service, creating a market and putting XRP back in the game. This divergence, US versus Japan, in regulatory opinion in the case of Ripple, is exactly why blockchain innovation is equal parts exciting and frustrating. In this case, it simply depends on which side of the ocean you're on. Another major stride in Asia was landing BKK Forex, connected to SEB, and D-Money, a financial solutions provider, via RippleNet Cloud. Through this partnership, more than 45,000 Thai nationals can send money from Singapore. Perhaps the most important development comes from RippleNet's on-demand liquidity ODL solution, which leverages XRP as a bridge currency to facilitate cross-border payments. In doing so, the need for holding capital in Nostro Vostro accounts can be freed up. iRemit, which is the largest non-bank remittance service provider in the Philippines, has joined BKK Forex. It is worth noting that iRemit is an early adopter of ODL and could play a crucial role in triggering a considerable growth in XRP price. The lawsuit against Ripple alleges co-founders aided and abetted Ripple's unregistered sales of securities, dating as far back as 2013 and 2015 respectively. Attorney Jeremy Hogan, a partner at Hogan & Hogan, has commented on the most recent court session of the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit and referred to a bombshell dropped by the judge, where she interrupted Brad Garlinghouse's lawyer, Matthew Solomon, to say, "My understanding about XRP is that not only does it have a currency value, but it has a utility, and that utility distinguishes it from Bitcoin and Ether." Attorney Solomon disagreed and said XRP is similar to Ethereum, but the judge's statement admits to XRP's utility and currency value. With currencies and securities being two different things, The SEC argument that Ripple is a security may be losing its credibility with the judge. In regard to utility, that's the point Ripple has been making the whole time. The judge also questioned the SEC attorney that, based on his theory, everyone who sold XRP, including you and me, are selling illegal securities. The SEC lawyer said no. Under Section 4, only Ripple and affiliates of Ripple can have sold XRP illegally. This statement from the SEC lawyer clears the way for the cryptocurrency exchanges in the United States to relist XRP again with no fear of reprisal. In its answer, Ripple stated it had never offered or sold XRP as an investment, and that XRP holders do not acquire any claim to the assets of Ripple, hold any ownership interest in Ripple, or have any entitlement to share in Ripple's future profits. In addition, the cryptocurrency firm argued that utility depends on XRP's near instantaneous and seamless settlement in low-cost transactions. Treating XRP as a security, by contrast, would subject thousands of exchanges, market makers, and other actors in the gigantic virtual currency market to lengthy, complex, and costly regulatory requirements. Of the 23 major financial market jurisdictions, 9 of them haven't taken any form of enforcement action against crypto-related companies, and the remaining jurisdictions have a more lenient approach compared to the SEC in a deliberate strategy to appeal to fintech startups. Acknowledging the size of the U.S. cryptocurrency market is a contributing factor to the SEC's high rate of intervention. A research paper by Rutgers School of Law professor Yulia Guseva argues the Howey test is a key factor for the SEC action and is no longer suitable for judging 21st century innovations. The long-suffering triangle that has been forming in the XRP market for 2 months may end its existence. The fact is that today buyers managed to break through the upper trend line of the triangle, which is a good sign for the continuation of the XRP USDT price growth, with the first target of 64 cents. Trading volumes in the breakout of the upward triangle trend line were increased. However, if you look at the 12-hour time frame, the trading volumes on the triangle breakout are quite small. It is quite possible that this is a false breakout of the triangle, and the price may return to its limits. Therefore, now we want to wait for the correction after the completion of the real local growth impulse. If buyers keep 53 cents, it will be a good signal of buying strength and price growth to 78 cents. The loss of the mark of 48 cents by buyers will quickly help sellers lower the price to 42 cents. Therefore, in this situation, we do not plan to rush. However, you need to keep a close eye on XRP. After the positive news for XRP following Judge Sarah Netburn's statement during the Ripple SEC hearing, I see now the big possibility that Ripple reaches an all-time high in this 2021 mega bull at $34 to $40, which would be minimum 30,000% from the 0.14 cent bottom, as seen in my blue projection. Of course, higher is also possible to $80 for a 60,000% gain, but let's see in time what makes the most sense by the end of 2021 as we get closer to November, December 2021. Trade safely. Please keep in mind we are not a licensed financial advisor. All videos on this channel are intended for entertainment purposes only. Tell us what you think in the comment section below, and let's have a conversation. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like this video and click on the subscribe button below. Turn on notifications to get informed whenever we drop our amazing content. We'll see you in the next video.